A lot of people are having breakfast and watching the game. I think it's great. Get
me
up
too.
early Sunday, watch a game, and then watch a lunchtime game with the Māori All Blacks. I'd love to see more Māori tests. I really would, but
Same.
it's where do you fit it into the rugby agenda? That's a tough thing. But for these young Māori boys, the opportunity to represent the iwi, hapu, everything like that, the whānau is just huge, bro. So, they'll be playing as good as they can, and under the coach Clayton McMillan. We wish them all the best. 12 o'clock lunchtime, the USA will come fighting. And, hey, again, it's another win-win for rugby and I would guess for Chicago. But then these young Māori boys head over to Brazil after that, down to Chile, show a bit of hope to the old girls down there. They're going to have, Māori boys alone. Get up to some mischief.
Yes, we do. We do know what they're like.
Yeah. Hey, Māori boys. Hey, bro, what goes on tour stays on tour,
well, obviously, they're going to have a bit of fun. And it's just great to see them getting out and about finally, Ra? It's just good to see that jersey finally out. Hey.
Oh, it is. And, they're going to wear it with pride. And it's good to promote.
Yes.
This is a game we all love, and it'll be a good experience for these young players because, some of them may even be future All Blacks wearing that top. And as we've seen with the All Black jersey, they brought the white collar type feature back on the jersey. So, small changes like that, I suppose, may or may not make the players play harder, but, it just enhances that sort of mana of putting on the jersey. And, as I say, I think keep an eye on some of those young Māori players. Some of them may feature in the top team in the future, and it can only be a good thing for not just Māori rugby, but New Zealand rugby in general.
I think it's also great for the opposition too, Riino? It's great for the opposition. They get to play a New Zealand team, and they get to represent their own country, or club, or whatever. But they also get to play against, you could almost say, a second-tier New Zealand team, but, a lot of people would say a first-tier team,
Yeah, totally. That's the opportunity. Plus, what the advantage, I would guess, when you're playing against a Māori All Black team is you get to hear a bit more and learn a bit more about our culture back here in the country. That's what gets delivered wherever they travel around. I think when they're back here too, how they stick together and work together as a unit, whakawhanaungatanga, everything like that, all comes into it. So it's a bit different, obviously, to the All Black mainstream side of things. It's actually, when I think about it, All Blacks be mainstream radio, where the Māori All Blacks would be iwi radio, if I put it into that context. So, I think overall the cultural side of it, the belief, the mana they would have for their jersey, with the kuru designs, everything like that, and they're real proud. That's the knocking on the back door of the All Black jersey, just as proud as that. So, I think, they'll do it justice as you do, because Māori rugby be known for flair, like Ra talked about, and there's some big names that have come from the game of Māori rugby, and excel through. So, a bit of history. I think a bit more respect, I would guess, but we see how the boys go tomorrow lunchtime, mate. I'll be sitting there watching.
Me too.
I'll be a bit tired after watching that, and then I've got to try and get up early on Sunday morning and watch the league. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'll ring in sick on Monday.
Should be, this is obviously, to keep the series alive, it's a must-win for the Kiwis, isn't it, Riino?
Oh, it is, and it's going to be tough too, playing. I think it's at Liverpool tomorrow, so Monday morning. Sorry. It is going to be hard. It is going to be a tough one. Hey, that was a pretty flat game, but let's hope they can turn it around. It was looking good after the Kangaroos, and they done justice for the league overall. So let's hope the Kiwis can pull one out of the bag Monday morning. Sorry, but it will be tough. It's always tough over there, though.
Yeah, it is. That's very true. I mean, it could have been anything. It could have been their travel. It could have been, a whole bunch of things could have happened to affect the flat, as you call it, the flatness. But boy, they really do need to find a spark. Where do you think that would come from, Riino?
Yeah, it's the halves of Cody Nikorima and Shawnee Johnson. I know Shawnee Johnson's been under a lot of pressure, and he is the West player that's inconsistent. One day he's hot, and one day he's not. He just doesn't continue that, and we saw that in that England game. There's nothing. He was just dumb things he was doing. Where the couple of weeks prior against the Kangaroos at home, he seemed to be the man of the moment. Hence the reason why the Warriors may not sign him after next season. He might be a Raider, we don't know. But I don't know where that's got out to him at the moment. A lot of news going around young Sean Johnson. But up front, I think the forwards, they can dominate like they did against the Kangaroos, get a bit more mongrel, get it out the back, anything can happen, and we might come away with a win. But it will be a hard-fought win. It won't come easy. England won't give it up. And under the master coach,
Wayne Bennett. That's right.
Don't need to say anything else. So this England team's a good team, been together for a little while as well. And we'll see what happens because, they've just wrapped up the Super League and that type of stuff as well. Some of those players will be heading into the Challenge Cup, I think it is. I think it's Wigan will verse the Sydney Roosters. So that's on the agenda soon. But, let's hope the Kiwis can pull it out of the bag Monday morning. If they don't, it'll be no surprise to me.
Yeah. Nor to most of the rugby league public. What do you reckon there, Ra?
Yeah, well, certainly ticket sales at, I think it's Anfield Stadium, which is Liverpool's, I think, park,
yes.
has not been great. So, you'd think they would have taken it to the heart of rugby league, like Hull, Kingston Rovers,
yes.
Leeds, or even Wigan. They would have probably got, or even Wembley, they would have probably got an even, more packed house than that. But, no, it'll be interesting to see. And I suppose, the Kiwis know that the writing's on the wall if they don't win this match. And, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, we should never be, kind of amazed that the Kiwis can sort of, topple the Giants one week and next minute they tend to cast it against, another team. I mean, it's what I call the Warriors kind of legacy roll-on effect. They can win against a big team one weekend and lose to a completely useless team the next. There's no consistency. But in terms of our national team, the Kiwis, it's a must win, and they can do it. They just need to have a bit more faith in themselves and just show that card that they did against Aussie. And let's hope they're just not a team that's good at winning at home, that they can win away from home. And I'll be watching to see if they can stick it to the problems, because those problems, they're worse than the Aussies sometimes in terms of their criticism and comments. They can be as one-eyed a pirate as the Aussies can, and I get a little bit sort of wow with listening to what they have to say sometimes. So let's hope the men in black can sort of rub it in their face and come away with a victory. It may be a bit of a tough ask mentally and psychologically, but if they just stick to the basics well and remember how they toppled Aussie, man, they can beat anyone on their day.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's another match I'm looking forward to. But I'm just hoping that the hype is up there, especially for England. And like you were saying, Ra, doesn't look good with the ticket sales. Not great, because that's one of the, to be honest, Anfield is one of the it's just a historic stadium, isn't it?
It's one of the holy grails
yes,
of
absolutely.
English football.
Yes. It would be nice to have have a bit of a sellout, but just as interesting what the English, I don't know, people are thinking about, because I would have assumed that they would have gone to a place like Hull or Wigan, just like you were saying. What do you reckon there, Riino?
Well, they should have gone.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. So, if anyone needs to get the boot put into, it will be the people who organises the games. Because that's where it should have gone, to the Homer League.
Yeah.
Not to football.
Yes, exactly.
So I don't know what they were thinking. You should have gone to stalwart league clubs. That's most probably why the league fans are turned away, because two different codes, and they're very, very angry at each other, and it's a whole lot of nutters. So, which is a shame. I don't know what the thinking pattern around that was.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know either. It just seems ridiculous that they're there. Not to say that it's, because Anfield, it's it's like a holy land, one would say, but only for football. But it's going to be interesting. Interesting to see how things go. What else has been happening out there, sporting-wise there, Riino?
Yeah, I suppose the big one for motorsport fans, this is the biggest weekend of the world here in Aotearoa. It's the ITN Super Sprint Series. The V8 supercars are in town. They arrived earlier in the week as well. A lot of promotional work being done. Yesterday was practice on the second to fastest circuit on the whole V8 supercar calendar. Didn't realise that Pukekohe got the high speeds like that, especially down the back straight there with the new kink in the track. But yeah, it's all about Craig Lowndes, one man. The emotions behind this guy, 20-odd years he's been racing now, professional, and he says goodbye to Pukekohe as a full-time racer, trying to get us holding up there on the podium, obviously, but it's coming down to two New Zealanders in the Penske Ford, Dick Johnson Ford, the Shell car. It's Scotty McLaughlin who leads by 19 points overall, and then you got Shane Van Gisbergen, the other Kiwi in the Red Bull Holden, who's right on his tail. Unfortunately for McLaughlin, things didn't work out, but locked up going into the corner, turn 3 or 4, I think it was, and straight off the end into the tyre. So a lot of work psychologically. How do you bounce back from that? Who knows? There's a lot of things come to play yesterday. But yeah, you've got 50,000 fans here yesterday, which is huge for a practice day. So let's hope the weather, it's just started to rain while I'm talking to you now, and hoping it's not raining up there. And we know what happened on the Goldie a couple of weeks back. They had to shut one race down. It just got too bad. So let's hope the weather comes to play. Then they're estimating 100,000 fans. Didn't realise 100,000 motorsport fans here in the country.
Well, you might notice them if you go up to Pukekohe, eh? But that's unreal. 50,000 just for practice day, man. That's unreal numbers there, eh, Riino?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's like, what's Eden Park Pack, 50,000
yeah, man.
for a big match, our national game.
Exactly.
And you get them turning up for practice. It's like, really? So when you ponder those numbers around like 100,000, it's like, holy hell. Crazy, eh?
Unreal. What else has been happening sports-wise?
Yeah, Temapara George, we wouldn't know areas, but Temapara is a Bartlett now, I think her name, Mary Nammers, at 43, making a return for the Northern Stars. So she'll be back out there on the netball circuit, I would guess, play a coach side of things. So if Laura Langman and Casey can do it with the New Zealand team and Magic and whatnot, or the Sunshine Girls, Good to see Tim back, eh? Us boys just want to check out Temapara on the court again.
Oh, she was always feisty. That's one of the things that we loved about her, though, eh? Is that she was always feisty. Also, the Black Caps, now, they had 2 losses up against Pakistan, the T20 in the T20 series. So, yeah, that's not going all too great. Anything else happening out there sporting-wise? Oh, there's a bit of basketball. Hey, there's quite a bit of basketball happening. There was, what's his name? Clay Thompson. He scored 52 in one game. Unreal, really. The Warriors, the Golden State Warriors, they defeated the halftime score for the Warriors was 92-50. That was the halftime score. Now, 50 is not too bad as a halftime score, but 92, there's a lot of teams that won't get 92 come full-time. The end of their full-time score was 124 to 149. 124 in a basketball game, that's not too bad either. That's a winning score, except in that case, obviously. So, yeah, Clay Thompson scored 14 3-pointers in one game, breaking the record that, what's his name?
Steph Curry?
Steph Curry, yes. He broke last year. So, yeah. And also it was great to see a former, one of the guys that was esteemed to be like the next Michael Jordan, and that was Derrick Rose. He's, with all his injuries and stuff, he now plays with the Minnesota Timberwolves. It was great to see him scoring 50 points, racking up 50 points, which is quite a feat for any player, really. So, yeah, that was pretty awesome stuff. Anything else happening sporting-wise?
Yeah, no, that's basically it, I would guess. It's pretty well dominated by rugby, which is
Yes.
triple header this weekend, and
Man.
which I'm looking forward to. 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and lunchtime tomorrow.
Yeah. Awesome rugby. And also, of course, the rugby league as well. That pretty much winds us up for the day. But before we do go, we are able to, one would say, get our angst out, which is what we usually do at the